doing something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and I've tried this place out a couple of times, but I just haven't done that well. Today it is absolutely gorgeous out. Ice fisherman's like favorite time to get out. It is 40 degrees, like I'm warm, but we have 8 inches of ice, and this is the first like super warm day we've had. Obviously this is not going to be good for the ice in the long run or short term, long term or short term. It doesn't look like it's going to get any really cooler from here on out here in Nebraska. It kind of looks like that our temperatures are going to rise. So we might be losing our ice very soon, and I'm going to take advantage of that, get out while we have it. But today I'm fishing a little farm pond that is my buddy's. So yes, this is like one of the only private places that I fish, but I haven't done that well here. Just because places are private doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to catch big fish. Even in open water, I struggle on days here, and other days it's just on fire. So I'm hoping today that could be one of those on fire days. There's absolutely big, giant bass in here, and that's my real target. There is a couple little catfish. There is some more decent bluegills and crappies, but so I'm kind of knocking 2 birds with 1 stone here. This is my buddy's pond, and it is overpopulated with the panfish, and he's asked me to take out as many as the really tiny bluegills or bigger male bluegills and as many crappie as possible, because they're just overpopulated, and this pond is only maybe a ½ acre or less than that. It's definitely a ½ acre, but it could be a little more. It's not that big, and I've only marked about 8 foot being the deepest part in this whole thing. So basically today I'm gonna Swiss cheese. I'm just gonna drill holes absolutely everywhere that I can, and I'm gonna fish every single one of them with bigger baits, ripping wraps, or jigging wraps, and Swedish nipples. I'm gonna have 1 tip up out and a couple dead sticks. All I have for bait are some emerald shiners. They're nothing, I've never used these. Somehow they ended up in my truck. I've never bought these, but I mean, that's all I got, so that's what I'm gonna use. But this is already a long enough intro. I'll explain a little more here as we go on. I might shed a couple coats because I'm already hot, so yeah, let's get to fishing. As you can see, you can probably see my auger out here. I already came and checked the ice. It's definitely well over 8 inches. There's a little iffiness going on here on the edge. It freaked me out at first. It looks like somebody else, not me, has already came and tried to fish this. And so what's going on right here is it looks like broken ice, which it is, but there is a ½ inch of ice, 2 inches of water, and then the solid 8 inches underneath that going on this edge part. We got a lot of rain recently, and I think that's what happened here. But I drilled a hole, and once you get past this edge, about right here, it's really frozen, and then it's all consistent. But yeah, that's not gonna help this anything over time. 1 tip up, I drilled all the holes. Now it's just trying to get a fish, I guess. I'm just gonna I'm gonna be jumping around a lot. For instance, this hole is only 4½ foot deep. This is not a deep pond whatsoever, but there seems to be fish in just about every hole. So I'm gonna be throwing a bright Swedish pimple. Water is kind of stained. It's not super clear. I mean, I can see about 1.5 foot down clarity, but that's still not that great. Just trying to wean out of the small fish. I mean, I could probably put a tungsten on this one, and I still might, just so I can catch some fish, but it's not the goal. I want to catch something big, so stay tuned. This first hole I found, I'm marking some fish. They seem pretty good, bigger marks, but it's also only about 6 foot, so the shallower, the closer they are to the top of the column, the bigger they show up on the vexillars usually. I got a fish. It's a baby bluegill. Not a bad one. Actually, a pretty small one, but like I said, we're going to be keeping some of these smaller ones just to get them out of here. I'm not going to absolutely just throw them away. I will use them down the road for bait for catfish or something. Through the ice. Yeah, see. This hole is loaded and they're all about this size. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the ice. They're all about the same size. They all came out of this hole, and this hole is absolutely loaded. I'm going to throw on a plastic just because I don't want to sit here and switch back and forth or trying to put on new wax worms. The littler ones are just going to sit there and nip at it and eventually just tear my wax worm off. So we're going to try and save some time and use plastic. I'm going to downsize it a little bit and tear off these 2 tentacles, the bigger ones, so it shortens it up just a tad. I don't think we're going to have a problem catching these fish at all. I already got them racing out, but this will definitely help me. I may even have to downsize my tungsten with how small some of these are. Here's one of the crappies. They don't look healthy at all. So this is the big reason why we're trying to get these out of here. And he came suspended at a 6 foot. Seems a little better. Oh, it's a bass. Look at that. It's my first bass out of this pond through the ice. He's not a giant, but that's good to see that he's actually really healthy. To see that these bass are spawning in here. Well, I'm not going to bore you guys with all these tiny bluegill catches, but at the end I will explain a little more why I'm doing that again, and I will let you know the number that I kept. If I catch something big, then I will show you guys, but I'm not going to bore you with all these little catches because I could probably sit here all day in this same exact hole and probably catch about 50. You guys see enough of the panfish videos, and of course these are definitely nothing to brag about. For size wise on these panfish, especially these crappie, they're pretty pathetic, so I'm not going to bore you guys with those, but stay tuned. It's a little bigger. It's a little bass. Nice healthy bass. That's definitely the species we're after, but there is about 10 times that size in here. That's a bigger bluegill. So there's definitely some healthy bluegills in here, which is what we want. Compared to that, this is what we want to keep in there. Some of the healthier ones. I'm not going to take the big healthy ones out. Just need to take some of the smaller ones out. That's a nice bass. Biggest bass I've caught out of the ice here. That's not a bad one. He was angry. We have a slight issue. The longer I'm here, the more that little river is making its way out on this lake. And I can hear it going down the dam, getting stronger. That means there's going to be current going, and the edges are opening up. I'm not worried that if I fall through on the way out, there's going to be a problem, because it's like a foot deep on the edges, but I just don't want to do that. But I'm just worried it's going to start softening up the middle while I'm out here, which would not be good. Even though this lake is only 7 foot deep and the homeowner is home, I have my float bibs on, but still don't feel like falling through. So we may be cutting this video short. All the snow is melting off the fields and grass and stuff, and it's creating a little, everything's just kind of melting today, so it's gotta need a place to go. And it seems that here in particular, it flows into this pond. Drag. It looks like a bass, not that big, but he's angry. There we go. It's a bigger-ish bluegill. It's another bass. He met me halfway. He hammered that. It's another bass. Oh, he did a backflip out of that hole. Although all these fish have not been giant, this has been pretty fun, catching fish consistently. The fish in this hole are definitely more fired up than any of the holes I've fished. I mean, they're meeting me halfway. They're absolutely just hammering this plastic. It's a bigger male, so I'm going to keep him out of there. Not really. These bass just fight so hard. As you guys can see, that's water all the way down. So I'm glad I made it off safely, but it's only going to get worse as that water sits and the temperatures warm up. So glad I got off safely, and I don't think I'll be coming back. Alright guys, I hope you kind of enjoyed today's video. It was something different. I mean, I didn't catch the big end bass I was after, the catfish, but I helped my buddy out, and I got a ton of the tiny, thin crappie out of here. I'm sure there's bigger crappie, which is probably good, but this pond, like I said, is only like a half acre. The deepest I found was 7. Other than that, it does not get very deep. And the edges, at least 10 foot in from every edge, is about 2 feet deep. So it's just basically a bowl. We got a ton of the crappie out, and we got a bunch of bluegills, and I'm not going to let those go to waste. I'm going to freeze them up and cut them up for open water catfishing, or hopefully I can get out this week and do some catfishing through the ice. I want to do that for you guys. That's one of my main goals for this ice season, is catch a big cat through the ice. So we're not going to let these gills go to waste, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I didn't keep any of the bigger ones I caught. I caught most of the small ones, and they weren't even that small. They were too big, but the crappies were the main thing he asked me to get out of here, and we got quite a few of those out. At the end, for each crappie I caught, I threw a bluegill back that I had. So I did catch a lot of bass that were this size, and they were healthy. So that's really good to see that those fish are healthy. The bass are thriving, and there's much bigger in here, and it's good that they are spawning. Those bass are probably a couple years old. I would say they weren't giant, but they weren't born last year, so that's good. I don't think I'm going to be able to fish this place anymore this year based on what is happening right now. I believe that the edges are going to be gone by the end of the week, and that's unfortunate. But appreciate you guys watching. Till next time.